Next tonight, big developments in the clergy sex abuse crisis. A grand jury is now investigating the Buffalo Catholic Diocese regarding its victim settlement program. As I-Team Chief Investigator Charlie Specht learned today, prosecutors may be looking to build a case similar to those used against gangs.
But we are the epicenter, it appears.
The Diocese of Buffalo appears to be at the center of a federal investigation into the Catholic Church.
It's very significant because that means that they have taken this investigation to the next level.
The Buffalo News reported a third round of subpoenas have been issued for diocesan records regarding clergy sex abuse. And attorney Barry Covert says this is the first confirmation a federal grand jury has been seated.
Now we know that there is a federal grand jury that is specifically tasked with looking at these claims, these allegations.
Covert says the feds may prosecute diocesan leaders by trying to use the same law the federal government used to take down the mafia.
We think that they could be looking at RICO, racketeer influenced and corrupt organization.
Such a probe would focus not on individual priests, but the church hierarchy that protected the predators.
The obstruction of justice, which is a predicate act, moving priests around. Did they destroy any records? Did they withhold any records? Were there any incorrect, untruthful communications to law enforcement? And fraud is also a predicate act.
Critics have called the diocese settlement program fraudulent because so many victims were excluded. Dennis Archilla, a survivor of Father William White, said, "I believe the intent of the diocese was to find out the extent of their liability if and when the Child Victims Act was passed by the state Senate." The process gave the appearance publicly that the diocese was intent on making things right with abuse survivors, but behind closed doors, in a sense, it was a re-victimization. Covert's client, abuse survivor Stephanie McIntyre, said, "I hope that my case, being one of the half-dozen being subpoenaed, will help reveal the corruption of this so-called independent reconciliation compensation program. I felt pressured to accept and just go away." Covert says Bishop Malone and his lawyers have a long road ahead.
It's nerve-wracking to be the subject of a federal investigation. It could be suffocating.
Now, a spokeswoman for the Diocese of Buffalo said in a statement, the diocese has not received any confirmation from law enforcement authorities as to the scope of any investigation, nor have the authorities announced any details of the investigation. So the diocese will not participate in what she called the speculation. We will continue to cooperate with the request for information as we receive them. We should say here, the U.S. Attorney declined to comment on this investigation. For the I-Team, Charlie Specht, 7 Eyewitness News.